Career Focus, and today I have Niel
Niel Dobrowsky.
Niel Dobrowsky. Okay.
Leave that in, eh?
Oh.
Life is about making mistakes and carrying on.
Yes, welcome to the Insurance Guru. My name is Ayanda Malele, and thank you so much for tuning in once again as we talk about my favorite subject, insurance. And I've got somebody that's been in the industry for a very long time. His name is Niel, and he's an account executive at the moment. But what I wanted is first to highlight what he does, but where the road and the journey has come from before he got to where he was. So welcome. Thank you so much for being with us again.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Tell me about how you got started in the insurance industry.
Yeah, okay. So I think like any other young person, I was just looking for a job, really, and a way to pay the bills out of school, not knowing what's next. And I stumbled upon insurance, quite literally. And my first job was in the claims department, where I would manually log calls. I was given a pencil and a pink file and a telephone. I shared a desk with someone.
Mm-hmm.
We had one desk with two people sitting opposite each other at a desk.
Yeah.
And I would call to follow up on claims and write down in the call log.
Okay, so that must be a long time ago.
Yeah. 2005.
2005.
2006, yeah.
From being a claims consultant, what was your next position?
So, I think I moved into telesales for a little while thereafter.
Mm-hmm.
But I spent a good few years in the claims department, mind you, before that. And then I did some telesales, and then I moved into the underwriting department. And I spent many years as an underwriter learning there. I then branched a little bit into sort of risk management. At the time I worked for a brokerage that serviced the public sector.
Mm-hmm.
And we developed some risk management products, advising clients in terms of insurance requirements, but also other things like occupational health and safety, machinery breakdown regulations, things like that. So I worked as a risk assessor, as a junior risk assessor, then became a senior risk assessor, and then eventually I was given a team to run. So I ran a risk management team, and after that, I think I did that for about 4 or 5 years, and I transitioned to become an account executive. And I've been an account executive now for going on 10 years.
What I'm hearing is making me sad. As a person that's maybe young, wanting to enter the market, you're telling me I have to go through all of that to become an account executive.
Absolutely.
Sure. And listen, I understand, because account executives aren't just glorified, I don't know, poster boys for the organizations. But it's more, you have to know a little bit of everything in order to be able to respond to a million things that could happen at any given time, right?
Yeah. So if you want to be a successful account executive, that is crucial. You need to understand how each element of insurance works together. You know, they're like cogs in a machine. Each one relies on each other. Mm-hmm. So there's this perception about the title account executive that it's glamorous, and you know you couldn't be more wrong. It's there are some perks to the job, sure, but there's a side of it that other people don't see. It's the phone calls at night, on the weekend. It's you never know where the next query is coming from or what skill you need to address it. It's vital that you understand how a claims person entertains a claim, what their challenges are, getting information from an insurer, dealing with service providers, navigating through policy wording or a condition that's negotiated. If you don't understand the challenges facing a claims administrator,
yes,
then you know how do you help? Likewise with underwriting is the heartbeat of insurance. If underwriting's done right, everything else goes okay.
Yes.
You know, where you pick up challenges in claims often can be traced back to underwriting. Unless you've done those jobs, you know, how do you then advise on a portfolio? You know, in my mind, you're not doing yourself any favors if you try and hurry up to be an accounts executive. And I see it, sadly, I see young people who don't seem to understand that this is a long-term journey. You know, you need to, if you're in claims, you need to spend a couple of years there. You don't know this job in a year, in 2 years. There's this impatience, which is sad, really. Even if you look at the cycle of insurance, it's on an annual period. You don't even know anything about your clients until you've been through a full cycle. That's the nature of. Obviously, I'm speaking from insurance broking, so you could argue working at an insurer or a UMA, it could be different. But those are fundamentals that you can't take away. You need to learn your craft, and even where I am holding that title, I still learn every day. There are things that I encounter and challenges, and there are mentors that I look to, and I'm constantly learning. So don't despise the small beginnings, and don't be in a hurry. Would be my advice.
You've heard it. It's a long journey, and I can attest to it. I know a couple of people in insurance that are doing wonderful things, but they started off in learnerships or internships, and they really groveled their way. It's not 5 years. Maybe that's where you can start to peak or see a peak in your career, but you have to do the small stuff first.
Absolutely.
What qualifications would you suggest or give me advice that I must embark on?
So I think the industry has never been doing more in terms of trying to engage young people. You see it in the ISA, you see it in businesses, training businesses who work within CETA. You have some experience in that field.
Yes.
Doing your entry-level qualifications. So I learned from shadowing somebody who had more experience than me, talking, learning, engaging. I learned from making mistakes. We need to allow people to make mistakes. It's difficult now with the consumers and their expectations in this industry. But learning comes on the job. The qualification might get you in the door. It could help you secure that first job, but all of the learning happens after that. You're not going to learn how to practice insurance in a book.
What interpersonal skills or abilities do I need in order to be a successful account executive?
You need to be able to listen. You need to be able to listen to people and really try and empathize with their points of view. You need to be a diplomat. You need to learn how to negotiate artfully to resolve conflict. I know I've said it now several times, but it really is a noble profession. You have a dual responsibility when you're an account executive. You always represent your clients, and speaking again as a broker, you always represent your client, but you need to also represent the insurer in some instances. And you serve as an intermediary, literally, between the two. So if this was a mafia movie, you need to be a consigliere, quite literally, in real life. So you need to be able to listen to people. You need to be able to meet them halfway. And I think one of the most important things is honesty. It's integrity. You need to know how to be real. Sometimes there's no easy way to say it other than to just say it. When you find yourself in a situation where you've got a policyholder or an insured who's suffered a loss that's a genuine loss, but it's not covered by the policy, learning how to deal with that situation and keep a client is a very difficult thing.
I don't miss those days, eh? Sure.
Yeah, it's no easy task. And likewise, when you're trying to market to clients who's maybe had, he hasn't had a good run in terms of losses, which are all genuine and all covered, but now you need to market him to insurers because no one's wanting to give him that cover, and he needs it to continue his business. There's always two sides. So it's walking that fence and learning to balance. And you need to have an eye for detail. You need to really be okay to sit and read the policy wording when you have to.
From beginning to end. Okay, so attention to detail, flexibility, and honesty, integrity. It's a lot, but thank you so much for this interview. I think from what I've gathered, we need to first, get your entry-level qualification, but gain as much experience as possible. Don't worry if it takes you 5-10 years. Just keep on grafting, keep on working and learn, and then soon you should be able to make it. And then always stay on your toes. Thank you so much. So if you enjoyed this video, please click like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.